Number 10, mockery. Meghan mocked the royal traditions on camera. Now, as many know, there is a scene in their series that shows Meghan doing an overly dramatic take of the royal curtsy while explaining her story of meeting the Queen for the first time. And as she's laughing it up, Harry is definitely annoyed with her mocking something that is part of his tradition. Now, seeing as he is uncomfortable by the mockery, it's definitely not a good look for Meghan at all. Other than the mockery, there have been several instances where Meghan chose to do what she preferred rather than respecting the rules of the royal family. Her critics would say it was presumptuous of her to think that the centuries-old monarchy would suddenly change up its operations because of a newcomer. Meghan isn't known to be someone who is going to change herself just to please the people around her. There was a conversation where Meghan had to be reminded that she and Harry were not as high on the royal hierarchy as William and Kate. Number 9, using Harry for status. Piers Morgan has been one of Meghan's most outspoken critics, claiming that when she started dating Harry, she dumped Piers as a friend. In any case, he tweeted, when Harry and Meghan parted ways in January, she used him to get to the top. People say I'm being too harsh on Meghan. However, she broke up with her parents, the majority of her old friends, the royal family, and her family. On top of that, she parted ways from William and Harry. I'm done fighting. He also referred to them as a pair of repulsive, deluded, narcissistic tools. Following their announcement that there would be no further corroboration and zero engagement between them and the 4 UK tabloids, Morgan also forbade Harry and Markle from being discussed on Good Morning Britain, the Daily Mail, The Sun, The Express, and The Mirror. Piers just clearly hates Meghan for rejecting him. On to number 8, ditching friends for royal status. Is Meg ditching her friends for royal status? A former friend and colleague who said Meghan ghosted her was Gina Nelthorpe-Crown, who found the future Duchess to be hugely charismatic when they first met in 2014. Gina said she last heard from Meghan when the future Duchess told her she was giving up her career and terminating their contract. Ouch. Meghan felt no type of way about letting go of her former friends, and it seems as if a couple people have claimed that she cut them off as soon as she and Harry became serious. But at the same time, if Meghan knew that these people would share her business, then it would be safer and easier for her to keep her distance from them. Clearly they're still talking about her and airing out her past, even though she doesn't talk to them anymore. Maybe the Duchess made the right decision. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Number 7, that time she feuded with Kate Middleton. When news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington to strike out on their own first broke in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed their fingers at the new royal, suggesting her difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for the staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. The Sussexes were expecting a baby and just wanted more space than the 2-bedroom apartment, which was the reason they moved out, not because she's a difficult Duchess. Kate and Meg had always had problems. It came out that there was a ton of tension between the royals, as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. That meant Harry and William were not getting along, and the whole family just wasn't seeing eye to eye. It was super hard on everyone, especially the late Queen, who was so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. While a few hints may have been given on why the royal family wasn't getting along, it was never really revealed why Kate had a problem with Meghan. Prince William was not happy about Harry and Meghan moving to Windsor, and Harry also felt his brother didn't welcome Meghan with open arms. Despite the fact that Meghan and Kate have nothing in common, Kate had other reasons she didn't like Meghan. Number 6, the royal family troubles. That time Meghan and Harry surprised the royal family by announcing their exit. Harry and Meghan dropped that bomb bright and early that new year, taking everyone, even the Queen, by surprise. Over the next few weeks, Harry and the royal family entered a series of negotiations about what their new life as working royals would look like, including paying their own security fees, achieving financial independence, and maintaining certain conduct standards out of care for the Queen's reputation. Meghan stayed in Canada with baby Archie before a final week-long royal tour in February, and the couple has since settled in her hometown of LA. Number 5, the codependent couple. Despite the royal family's take, Harry and Meghan have attested to their seemingly fairytale romance. In a 2018 interview with BBC, the couple sat down to talk about the origins of their relationship. However, thoughts about Harry and Meghan's possibly codependent relationship have become a trending topic on Twitter, especially following the release of Harry and Meghan. One user tweeted, in part, "They have the most unhealthy codependent relationship I've ever seen." Another person wrote, "I suspect Harry has been literally transformed by what he believes is his intense love for Meghan," adding that he's completely codependent on her. So what will come of Harry and Meghan's future together? Even though we don't know the couple personally, do we think the relationship is based on codependency, or is this just another case of people trying to talk about a relationship they aren't a part of? On to number 4, brainwashed prince. Harry has been called an unintelligent man who has been brainwashed by his wife into a rift with the royal family. Royal expert Tom Bower made sensational comments against the Duke and Duchess ahead of the release of Harry's bombshell memoir. He said, "Harry is brainwashed" would be the politest way of saying it, into going along with it. He says he thinks he has been badly treated, but there is no doubt they are a great threat to the royal family. Bower continued, "Harry is a very complicated, depressed, unintelligent man who is seeking a role and really has nobody on whom he could rely on." Which in the end is where Meghan stepped in. A needy man met a woman who helped him with his needs. Damn, he really went in on him. The author also claimed that Harry and Meghan were left angry as ever after allegedly being snubbed by the royals at Queen Elizabeth's funeral last year. Number 3, playing victim. Harry's newly formed and deeply damaging anti-royal beliefs are being peddled by Meghan, and according to some people, including royal author Tom Bower, who said this while speaking to American journalist Megyn Kelly. In the first 3 episodes, Harry comes out and says there's the leaking and planting of stories, and if we look objectively at the couple since breaking away from the royal family, who has gotten the better end of the deal? Meghan is living in her hometown, pitching Hollywood decision makers, voicing Disney Plus documentaries, and positioning herself as a woke cultural voice. Harry has given his family the cold shoulder, cutting ties with them all, and reportedly has been depressed and feeling down. And now news is breaking that he regrets cutting off the royals. That's some hot tea. And if that wasn't bad enough, he made a complete fool of himself by showing his lack of knowledge on the matter. Seems to me like the Meghan haters are making it seem like it's Meghan's world and we're all just living in it. Number 2, Princess Diana 2.0. Apparently Meghan always wanted one thing in life, and that was to become a member of the British royal family. Now she's never confirmed that, but her friends say that she's always had a fascination with the royals. And according to some sources, this was all a part of Meghan's plan. She's wanted to be a princess since she was a teenager. Her old friend once said she was always fascinated by the royal family and she wants to be Princess Diana 2.0. She'll play her role ably, but my advice to Harry is to tread cautiously. I'm not shocked at all. It's like she's been planning this all her life. She gets exactly what she wants and Harry has fallen for her play. Even staging that fake car crash chase to make everybody believe that history is repeating itself is in true Meghan fashion. And finally, number 1, using Harry for money. The engagement interview between Meghan and Harry was broadcast by numerous networks worldwide, and when Sky News in Britain broadcast it live, comments began to pour in, and not all of them wished the couple well. In point of fact, numerous insults were leveled against Meghan, accusing her of being in it for the money. One person wrote she sees British pound signs, another person wrote she won the lottery and won't give a crap anymore when she has that money. Number 10, the docuseries. If you haven't noticed already from her channel, I cannot talk about Meghan or Harry without bringing up the controversial docuseries that immediately made this couple 2 of the most hated royals. We have all seen or at least heard about the 6-part Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, and the tea on these 2, especially Meg, is hotter than ever. The internet had been up in flames over Meghan's behavior in the docuseries, and some even felt as if it should just be titled Meghan, because of her dramatic approach to topics that some do not feel deserved a whole series, especially if they wanted a life away from the press and media. Body language experts have revealed that Meghan's behavior and actions show her as a manipulative narcissist who is using Harry's vulnerability against him, and controlling him to do everything she wants. Others believe she just wanted to step away from the royals because she was unable to control the narrative of the British press. That is some drama. Number 9, not on good terms with the in-laws. When news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace to strike out on their own first broke in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed the fingers at the new royal, suggesting her alleged difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for the staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. Obviously, all that turned out to be untrue, and the Sussexes were expecting a baby and wanted more space than the 2-bedroom apartment they lived in at Kensington Palace. Kate and Meghan have always had problems. It came out in November of last year that there was a ton of tension between the royals, as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. This meant that Prince Harry and Prince William were also not getting along, and the whole family was not seeing eye to eye. This was super hard on everyone, but especially the Queen. Queen Liz was actually so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. Number 8, mistreating staff. Leading up to the Oprah interview, the Times reported accusations that Meghan mistreats her palace aides and staff prior to the 2020 exits. While Meghan denied the allegations, noting in a statement that she was saddened by the latest attack on her character, the palace revealed they were investigating the claims. Members of staff involved at the time, including those who had left the household, were invited to participate to see if lessons can be learned. The statement the palace released said that the royal household has had a dignity at work policy in place for a number of years and does not and will not tolerate bullying or harassment in the workplace. Number 7, ditching friends for royal status. Was Meg ditching her friends for royal status? A former friend and colleague who said Meghan ghosted her, Gina Nelthorpe Crown, who found the future Duchess to be hugely charismatic when they first met in 2014. Nelthorpe Crown said she last heard from Meghan when the future Duchess told her she was giving up her career and terminating their contract. Ouch. Meg felt no type of way about letting go of her former friends. It seems as if a couple people have claimed that she cut them off as soon as she and Harry became serious. I wonder how Harry feels about this. But at the same time, if Meghan knew these people would share her business, then it would only be safer and easier for her to keep her distance from them. Clearly, they're still talking about her and airing out her past, even though she doesn't talk to them anymore. Did the Duchess make the right decision? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 6, short temper. Meghan and Harry's whirlwind romance has been in the spotlight pretty much since they got together. With fans and haters watching their every move, this couple is used to getting lots of attention, whether they like it or not. When Harry got with Meg, people started watching Meg like a hawk, dissecting her every move. Naturally, when you're part of the royals, people are going to be more inclined to know what you're like. As someone part of the royal family, displaying strong emotions is not necessarily expected, especially in a public setting. After being invited as a guest speaker at the Power of Women charity benefit, Meg seemed irritated after pictures of her were published where she was seen lashing out at an employee in the parking garage. The pics published in the Daily Mail show her looking pretty ticked off, pointing directly at someone. Some believe she was scolding one of her employees, while others say she was letting a parking attendant have it. I mean, as a royal, I think Meghan should have been more mindful of her position and the amount of eyes on her, but hey, there's always more to a story, right? And it's hard to figure out with pictures out of context. Number 5, the Oprah interview. After the infamous Oprah interview dropped back in 2021, the couple had been accused of prolific lying. With lies being told about racism among other things, people can't help but wonder what is the truth and what is being exaggerated. After getting an award for heroism, royal expert Angela Levine has spoken out about how they did not deserve it because of the things that were said in the interview. And if you haven't watched the interview, there have been endless criticism on many things that have happened throughout the interview, from questionable body language to overdramatic recalls of personal situations. She brought up how she hasn't gotten any help with her mental health, which many were also quick to call out by saying that was fake news. The question really is, why would Meghan lie about that? Or is it just easier to assume she's lying since they already don't like her? Let me know what you think. Number 4, mockery. Meghan mocking the royal traditions. Now, as many know, there is a scene in the series that shows Meghan doing an overly dramatic take of the royal curtsy she was to do when she met the Queen. As she is laughing it up, look over to Harry and notice his reaction. He is staring at her as if he's annoyed with her mocking something that is important to him and also part of his tradition. Interesting. Seeing as if he is uncomfy by the mockery, it's definitely not a good look for Meghan at all. Other than the mockery, there have been several instances where Meghan chose to do what she preferred rather than respecting the rules of the royal family. Meghan's critics would say it was presumptuous of her to think that the centuries-old monarchy would suddenly change up its operations because of a newcomer. Meghan was not known to be someone who was going to change herself just to please the people around her. There was a conversation where Meghan had to be reminded that she and Harry were not as high on the royal hierarchy as William and Kate, because Harry is only 5th in line to the throne, while William is literally next. Number 3, using Harry for status. Our favorite, Piers Morgan, has been one of Meghan's most outspoken critics, claiming that when she started dating Harry, she dumped him as a friend. In any case, I feel like he might have mixed up associate with companion. In any case, Piers tweeted, when Harry and Meghan parted ways in January, she used him to get to the top. People say I'm being too harsh on Meghan, however, she broke up with her parents, the majority of her old friends, the royal family, and her family. She also parted William and Harry. I'm done fighting. He also referred to them as a pair of repulsive, deluded, narcissistic tools, following their announcement that there would be no further corroboration and zero engagement between them and the 4 UK tabloids. Morgan also forbade Harry and Markle from being discussed on Good Morning Britain, the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Express, and the Mirror. Number 2, break-in protocols. Here is an extensive list of times where Meghan simply broke royal protocols for whatever reason. She has worn dresses of shorter length than other royal members usually wear. The couple's wedding was not on a weekday, which is royal tradition. While on their South African tour, the couple made a request to only be referred to as Harry and Meghan instead of as the royal titles. The two of them are regularly seen showing PDA, such as hugging and holding hands, God forbid. She wore Dior to Archie's christening, even though the royal mother typically wears a piece by a Brit designer. The couple announced baby Archie's birth on the gram, and even though traditionally the news of a royal baby is shared on a ceremonial easel outside of Buckingham Palace, and it is highly unusual for a royal to do so, but she hasn't worn pantyhose more than once. As tiring as it was to list all of the times Meghan has done something different than what is usually part of the traditions or just unofficial rules, it makes us question Meghan's efforts to fit into the royals as she's claimed to do. In an astonishing allegation, the Queen was forced to step in and pull Meghan and Harry in line after Meghan was told she couldn't wear the original tiara she'd picked out from the Queen's collection. Meghan had her heart set on this tiara with emeralds, and Prince Harry hit the roof and they were told it was impossible for her to wear it. Apparently, there was a very heated exchange where the Queen spoke to Harry about Meghan not being able to have whatever she wants. She also had to remind him that Meghan gets a tiara given by her. The message from the Queen was very much that Meghan needed to think about how she speaks to staff members and be careful to follow family protocols. The Queen said, "Not on my watch." And finally, number 1, activism. Many people are starting to believe Meghan's actions are more performative than true advocacy. If you want to go and do something to help an underdeveloped region, is it necessary to bring cameras with you to record you doing a good deed? Meghan might be onto something, and we're starting to think the bigger picture is to show people that she is a good person who helps others while simultaneously using her status to get her way. Other times the cameras have been an issue is during the doc when the couple was called out for using a royal family approved picture of them walking about to prove a point about them being hounded by paparazzi. Embarrassing.
10 Meghan Markle secrets she doesn't want the public to know. She's not friendly? An insider from Meghan's former life has come out and accused the Duchess of being fame hungry. Meghan's goal was always becoming a household name, a source told Vanity Fair. She's insanely smart and poised, but very, very guarded. She's not a person you can actually be friends with. She's the type of person who is best friends with her stylist, the insider added. After moving to Toronto to film the drama series Suits, Meghan reportedly began spending time at exclusive bar venues like Soho House, while surrounding herself with the likes of celebrity stylists Jessica Mulroney and Misha Nono. Meghan was socializing with foreign heiresses, upper crust, smart, ambitious. Nono's friend told Vanity Fair, "They have everything and they want everything." A close friend to Prince Harry, Nono had previously been reported as the matchmaker who set him up with her friend. Another Hollywood insider revealed to the publication that Meghan even held a Sayonara Zara party, where she gave away her old clothes once she could afford the high-end labels worn by her Suits character, paralegal Rachel Zane. Sounds like jealousy to me. Samantha Markle. These claims about Meghan's personality resemble the accusations that half-sister Samantha Markle has broadcast high and low since her siblings' rise to fame. In 2016, Markle told The Sun that Meghan always dreamed of being a princess, painting her as a social climber. She always preferred Harry. She has a soft spot for gingers. She has since made headlines accusing Meghan of lying about paying for her own university fees and causing an irreparable rift in her relationship with their father, Thomas Markle, after she failed to call him on Christmas Day. "I've never seen anyone so rude and hurtful and heartless and absent a soul in my life," Samantha Markle wrote on Twitter. The brutal tweets followed revelations that Meghan hadn't spoke to her father since her May nuptials, forcing him to learn of his daughter's pregnancy through the news. Samantha added, "Apparently you're not capable of forgiveness or having a peaceful heart." Family feuds. Not only Samantha, no one in the Markle family seems to get along. Both half-sister Samantha and half-brother Thomas Jr. have made allegations in the public media that the other sibling has been cut out of the family. Furthermore, despite Prince Harry making a comment that the royals are like the family she never had, one family member suggested this was not the case. "She's had a really good family," said Thomas Markle Jr. "We were as close as we could be, as tight as we could be. That's what we were." In fact, it was revealed last minute that Markle's dad would not be attending her royal wedding. Confirming the news, she said, "Sadly, my father will not be attending our wedding. I have always cared for my father and hope he can be given the space he needs to focus on his health." Meanwhile, her reaction behind closed doors was much less matter-of-fact. Apparently, the shocking news of his absence reduced both Meghan and Harry to tears. After turning up to Kensington Palace unannounced, Samantha was overcome with online abuse. However, she hit back in support of her shared father with Meghan, saying that the Duchess should bow to the daddy, accusing her half-sister of giving fake waves and smiles, and not giving time to the one who has always been there for her. Samantha simply wanted Meghan to reach out to her father so he could know she is all well, happy, and to touch base. Not enough attention. According to Meghan's sister Samantha, Meghan is not paying enough attention to her father. After making numerous attempts to speak to Meghan about the health of their 74-year-old dad, Kensington Palace refused to respond. Unsure whether Meghan was even aware of this, her publicist took to Twitter as the only option we have left, he claimed. "This doesn't need to be public. We would prefer to keep this private. Samantha is coming to the UK this week, like it or not." This could be because Meghan Markle's dad staged his own paparazzi shots days before the wedding. Despite many requests for photographers to stay away from Thomas Markle, he apparently worked with members of paparazzi to stage photos showing him preparing for his daughter's royal wedding. It was alleged that he made a healthy profit from this too. While there was much speculation on this, it was reported Thomas decided not to attend the nuptials to avoid embarrassing the royal family. Only days later, he changed his mind. MS. Meghan has allegedly hidden her half-sister's disability. Samantha, who was diagnosed with MS back in 2008 and is in a wheelchair, believes her sister has avoided speaking about it publicly. She has even spoken out that Meghan has abandoned the family. In addition, she said that the two sisters have not been close, especially since her diagnosis. Born 17 years apart to different mothers, the two did not have much of a relationship, and despite Samantha's claims, we doubt this is due to her disability, or because Samantha constantly talks bad about her and treats her poorly due to jealousy, and it has nothing to do with her disability. Rather, it has everything to do with her attitude. Having a disability or condition is tough, and some attitude is expected if you aren't dealing with it well. But it's always a bad idea and heavily advised against that you take it out on your own family. Samantha should be confiding in her sister and other family members, not going at their throats. Meghan is of course at fault too. She should have checked in with her sister more. Criminal brother. Meghan's older half-brother is certainly not royal family material. Just like his father, he is on his second divorce and similarly declared his own bankruptcy in 2013. However, the real topper is that Thomas Markle Jr. was taken into custody after allegedly holding a weapon to his girlfriend's head. He was charged with unlawful use of a dangerous weapon, menacing, and domestic violence. This does not sound like ideal behavior for a brother-in-law of Prince Harry. I mean, the royal family does have Andrew, so don't worry Meghan, nothing is worse than that. It must be tough for Meghan to be getting all of this media attention while having to worry about her family. I mean, sure, he is a bad guy, but I'm sure Meghan just thinks he's misguided. Thinking about siblings and other family members, whether you like them or not, is a lot of stress, you know? know? The Duchess of Sussex was greeting mourners stationed outside Windsor Castle on September 10th with her husband Prince Harry and the Prince and Princess of Wales when the incident unfolded. In footage widely shared to Twitter, Meghan could be seen holding a bunch of pink roses and talking to the crowd when an aide spoke to her from behind. The Duchess could be seen whirling around quickly with what some social media users claim to be a flash of annoyance on her face. Meghan spoke some words to the aide, pointing in one direction before finally smiling, nodding her head, and whirling back around towards the crowd. Honestly, maybe the royal aide just scared her. It's possible. Rachel. Interestingly, Meghan is not the real name of Prince Harry's Hollywood wife. She was born as Rachel Meghan Markle, the same as her character on Suits. It is not known when or why Meghan decided to drop Rachel, but all of her acting credits are under Meghan Markle. Perhaps, like some of her former acquaintances have mentioned, she had always aspired to get to where she is today, and Meghan was more suited for a royal title. I know a lot of people personally who have dropped their first names in favor of their middle names, so this isn't really that big of a deal to me. If you know someone who's swapped around their name or has a different name they go by, then let me know in the comments. I'm super interested. One user says that Meghan claimed she was bored during King Charles and Princess Camilla's garden party. I think pushing Harry aside, basically halting his conversation, and then refocusing all the attention on her is damn rude. He put his head down with his hands folded over each other like a little kid who's being chastised. Talking so much in the engagement interview as if what she had to say was much more important than what he had to say was also rude. Announcing, "I'm bored" at Charles and Camilla's garden party was the ultimate. I can't tell if this is a true story or not, but it's definitely a Karen move to announce you're bored in front of everyone. Briefcase. Before becoming a royal, Meghan made an appearance as the case model on Deal or No Deal, hosted by Howie Mandel. Meghan was one of those beautiful women who would open the cases to reveal a winning amount. Her time on the show lasted from 2006 to 2007, so only a year, and she once said in an interview that the only reason she did the show was to make ends meet. Definitely working on Deal or No Deal was a learning experience, and it helped me to understand what I would rather be doing, she said. While we can imagine the Queen wasn't very pleased about this, back in 2013, Meghan Markle took part in a seductive photo shoot for the Canadian magazine Sharp. Of course, becoming a royal means anything and everything from your past can creep up to haunt you, and if it's on the internet, there is no hiding. Although some outfits are sheer and revealing, she is fortunately not naked in any of these pictures, much to the royals' delight. It's 2022, so do whatever you want, Meg. You mind if I call you Meg? Bad-mouthing her in-laws. I consider it to be rude to badmouth your in-laws on such a public forum as an internationally televised interview. One user said about her interview with the royal family. They continue, "Private family matters should be taken up privately." As was stated in Buckingham Palace's brief response to the interview, on top of that, the interview was released while Prince Philip was gravely ill in the hospital. The guy's got a point. A bit better timing could help Meghan a fair bit. Maybe she can try to release something like that when nothing crazy is happening. Serena Williams. After meeting at a charity football game in 2014, Meghan and tennis star Serena Williams became great friends. After beginning to date the prince and being bombarded by paparazzi and press, her friend gave her some friendly advice. "I told her, you've got to be who you are, Meghan. You can't hide," Williams said. Meghan's best friend, however, is said to be fashion stylist Jessica Mulroney. The girls became close after Meghan moved to Canada to film Suits, and her 3 children even served as bridal attendants at the wedding. That's sweet. Unlike Drake, it seems Meghan does in fact have friends in the industry. I'm sorry that was a bad joke, but it's good to have people watching your back and giving you advice in times of need. That's really nice of Serena and Jessica. The Queen's Jubilee. The ex-royal pair, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, decided to cut short their celebrations of the Queen's Jubilee, flying back early instead of participating in the later celebrations. Royal expert Katie Nicole said of her take on the situation, "I honestly think it's because they knew that they wouldn't be in the front row." And why did they leave the royal family? They left because they weren't in the front row. I believe that's why they weren't at the other celebration, as they did not have center stage seats. Meghan disregarded the respect for Queen Elizabeth II's 70th year on the throne and just flew back with Harry, all for some seats. The time she threw tea at a staffer. Allegedly, she threw a cup of hot tea at one of the Admiralty House staff in Oz. Meghan expected to get the whole of Admiralty House to stay during their tour, but she only got a wing of it, so allegedly she told the host a 4-letter word off and asked, "Do you know who I am?" Apparently she was like a Tasmanian devil during her early pregnancy, and the host tried to soothe her with a cup of tea. She didn't like the tea and threw it at the staffer. What a nightmare. She lost her cool on an experienced royal aide. Samantha Cohen, the experienced royal aide who Queen Elizabeth asked to help Meghan transition into royal life, was screamed at by the couple before and during a flight to Australia for their 2018 tour. Sam always made clear that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. They were impossible and pushed her to the limit. She was miserable. A friend of Cohen's claimed she was constantly having to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf while taking all this abuse from them. That's terrible. Wait, what? It has been said that Meghan was actually in a relationship with another man when she went on her first date with Prince Harry. From 2014 to 2016, Meghan was dating Canadian chef Corey Vitiello, and they became serious, even living in a townhouse together. Meanwhile, we know Meghan met Harry in 2016, potentially causing their sudden breakup in May that year. So was Harry the cause of the end of Vitiello and Meghan, or was it something else? When questioned, he reported, "I can't comment on that." Actually, on the subject of that Canadian chef, Corey Vitiello responded to the announcement of Harry and Meghan's engagement. It was revealed that Prince Harry actually proposed to Meghan over a chicken dinner. After Corey heard about that, he clearly couldn't hold back, and he posted a video right after the announcement of him cooking up some delicious, juicy chicken. Is he throwing shade to his ex, or is this just a little playful thing from him? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.